go ahead and get started. So, hello everyone. Thank you for joining us today for a short Restock Pro live demo. For those who joined us, my name is Jennifer Nunez, Senior Business Development Consultant for Ecom Engine. And with me today is my colleague Jerome, our Senior Customer Success Representative, and he will be helping me today with your questions. Hi, Jerome.
Hey Jen, thank you for this opportunity, and thank you everyone. We're grateful to be here.
Thank you. We're glad you're here too. All right. So let's kick this off with a question. Why Restock Pro? So, as our good friend Dave Griffin of Supernova UK said, using Restock Pro from Ecom Engine has allowed me to increase my sales by at least 25% year on year. Easy to use, and I couldn't run our business without it. So, thousands of sellers that try Restock Pro saw a big increase in sales since it helped them stay focused on profitable tasks and what to restock and when. Sellers often tell us that they can't live without it. So, what is Restock Pro? So Restock Pro is an easy-to-use cloud-based solution from Ecom Engine. It addresses those restocking challenges by capturing your FBA data and transforms it into an inventory intelligence, enabling you to monitor sales velocity, competitive listings, expected margins, and more. It also becomes your in-house supply chain counsel, making recommendations and sending out alerts on when and how much to reorder. Restock Pro helps you improve your inventory management process and grow your bottom line by automating routine tasks so you can free up your valuable time that can help you make more informed decisions. Now, why Amazon sellers use Restock Pro? So as you see, we have a lot of questions today, but we're answering it for you. So while Restock Pro can support your end-to-end inventory management, we also understand that different sellers or different businesses have different strategies depending on your business workflow. So here are a few highlights of why Amazon sellers use Restock Pro. Number one would be its intuitive forecasting helps you save time and reduce the risk of error from using spreadsheets. A lot of sellers that I spoke with use a spreadsheet up to this time. And what Restock Pro does is that it captures your FBA data by importing the last 180 days of your sales, all your active SKUs, your inventory report from Seller Central, and your active shipments. This allows you to create or track POs and shipments in the tool itself. Our stickering customization and printing features also proves to come in handy, especially for sellers who takes care of their product prepping before they ship them to Amazon. In addition, you can also download your labels and update your box contents in Restock Pro itself when creating your shipments. You can also build and optimize kits or bundles before shipping them to Amazon. We also support 10 Amazon international marketplaces that includes Australia, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Mexico, Netherlands, Spain, UK, and US. That being said, let's go ahead and take a peek at the actual tool itself. Restock Pro. Here we go. So this is your Restock Pro dashboard. Signing up for Restock Pro is very easy. It's probably just going to take you a minute or less than 2 minutes, right? It's a two-step sign-up process, and you don't have to use a credit card or no contracts to sign. Once you've completed the sign-up process, it will take you to your dashboard. But give us 24 hours or less to provision your account. While your account is being provisioned, you can sit back and relax while we import as far as 180 days of your sales data, all your active SKUs, your inventory report from Seller Central, and all your active shipments. Now, depending on how you want to use Restock Pro, because I get it a lot, like some sellers would use Restock Pro for purchase orders only, for shipments only, for forecasting only. All right, there are a few data or pieces of data that you can upload easily in our Restock Pro software. So, for example, your local inventory. You can upload your local inventory via CSV for forecasting, shipment creation, or warehouse tracking. You can also upload your product costs and supply information for purchase orders, profitability report, and other reports that you have here, and other more data that Restock Pro can provide you to make you optimize your inventory management using our tool. Now, once you're done uploading the necessary information that you have here via CSV, their local inventory, we just go ahead and quickly show you how the local inventory looks like. So here, You can track your local inventory, your local warehouse here, and you can create shipments from here. This is your products page where you can upload your costs. Right? And let's go ahead and click a product name so you see what's inside. All right. And of course, your supply information, where you can also indicate your supplier lead time, by the way. There you go. Now, if you're all done with this information, you can go to your options and settings. All right. So your options and settings will show you your restock rules. And this is very important because this is where you find your personal settings on how you want Restock Pro to do your forecasting. From here, you'll identify your restock model, whether your supplier ships directly to Amazon or you ship to a prepping facility and they take care of the shipping or of the prepping of and packing of your products before you ship it to Amazon, or your local means you keep items in your local, you take care of your prepping and packaging, and then you ship them to Amazon. So you indicate it here in this drop down. You also have your local lead time, which is the amount of time it takes for your products to get to from your warehouse to Amazon until it becomes available for sale. And of course, your color coded flags. So you can choose the range of days. So you can manually indicate the range of days um, depending on how you want or how long you want to have your inventory coverage at Amazon. This color coded flags will also be in your restock suggestions page, like your to-do list on a day-to-day basis, letting you know what to restock and when. So we'll jump into that later on. You also have your sales velocity here. This allows us to look into your past sales, and we normally recommend like using the periods of 30 or 60 days to look into your past sales when doing your forecasting. But if you have seasonal products, then you can use the average feature that we have here. It allows you to indicate a weighted percentage on interval of days. Okay. And of course, we have adjust velocity of out of stock. I highly recommend this to a lot of sellers that I work with, primarily because it allows us to look into your past sales where you were out of stock, and we can use this factor to adjust the volume for your restock suggestions. Include your pending orders, ignore old shipments, and case back rules. So you can choose whether you want us to incorporate this for your restock suggestions. The rest of the other calculation settings here, basic information, are actually point and click settings that you have that you can select which ones you'd like to prioritize. But let's go ahead and jump into your restock suggestions page. Restock suggestions is the heart of Restock Pro. All right. Right off the bat, you'll see here you can approach it by supplier or product list. This is the place for you to view your forecast and launch your restocking process. If you want to focus on specific supplier, then you can click the supplier name. If you want to go into all your products and you have a saved filter, you go to your product list, you can do that. But right off the bat here, you'll see your red alert, so you'll know which suppliers you need some urgency to work with, if you have a free freight minimum and target order value. But in this demo today, let's go to your product list, okay? All right. So the restock suggestions page on this product list will show you a lot of great. It has a lot of great information, but feel free to rearrange or drag and drop these columns depending on your inventory workflow. So you notice here I have a save filter, but if you scroll from left to right, there's a lot of great useful information for you and your team to use. And you can click this hamburger icon to be able to tick and untick columns. So you can focus on the data that are pertinent to your inventory processes. Okay. I've arranged these columns, by the way. These are drag and drop columns. I've arranged this in a way that if I'm a seller, I'd like to look into my product information first, my prep guide, supply information, how many do I have in Amazon, inbound to Amazon, my pending, which are in the carts of my buyers, haven't checked out yet, local quantity, which is my local inventory, maximum shipment quantity, which is the now the restock limits by storage type, suggested ship, suggested reorder, on order, and restock needed. So this is like your forecasting column, and the numbers are aligned here at the bottom. Your color-coded flags, as you noticed, we discussed this on our restock rules earlier. This allows you to be guided on the urgency of your restock, and it will align with the number of units that you have here. Okay, so if you want to like move this here to your flags, you can also do so. So you'll be able to easily see which ones is more urgent based on the flags or based on how many you have in Amazon. You can also create saved filters like what I did. We have several saved filters here. If you want to strategize your inventory process in a way that you save money, like you want to restock products based on sales velocity, based on estimated margins and markup, or if you just want to focus, really easy on the restock now, restock soon and out of stock, just use your color coded flag to identify which ones you'd like to restock and click apply. And right now it's only filtered under Cool Kids, which is one of my suppliers, right? Now, this page here allows you to be able to see that you can create POs and shipments right away. But of course, you want to see what are this calculator, where are these icons? By the way, if you click the icons here, you'll see your supply chain map here or diagram of your inventory process. And we have this calculator icon, two different calculator icons that gives you a lot of great information. Here is your restock calculations. Basically shows you this calculator icon, how we compute your sales velocity, your coverage required, coverage available, and all that counts into your suggested ship quantity and suggested reorder and how we compute them. So it's all here in black and white. This real-time data is actually synced in Amazon several times per day. It includes your FBA fees, commissions, monthly storage fees, and variable closing fees. If you click here on your estimated margin column, there's a calculator icon as well, right? And it will show you your cost that you've indicated in your product page and your Amazon fees that we've imported. If you use a price or click a button on the price here, it will auto-recompute your estimated margins and markup at the bottom. All right. As I said earlier, this is also the page where you can create POs and shipment. And all you have to do is just click the triangle or type in a positive number here. So it looks something like this. There, it's very intuitive. It pops up a window that lets you know, do you want to create a PO to your warehouse and ship it to Amazon, or do you want to create a PO to your supplier and then ship it to Amazon? So the next logical workflow would be like a pop-up letting you know here what's the next step, either create shipment or create PO, right? Speaking of POs and shipments, let's jump into your POs and shipments page, okay? So once you create POs and shipments, and by the way, you can also create shipments in your local inventory, but all the POs and shipments created are tracked here in your POs and shipments page. And you can click the link on your name column. So for example, for this shipment, you already know which warehouse and how many is going to which warehouse in Amazon. So if you click this, it's going to pop up a next page that allows you to modify your units, your box and labels, your contents, or box and contents. Let me show that to you. This is your box and labels, and your, sorry, go back here. There you go, box contents. All right. 2D barcodes here, send to Amazon, and you have your stickers as well. Right, there you go. So here, your stickers, you can modify the quantities, you can customize the last two lines of your stickers. These are all within Amazon guidelines, so you can take advantage of this. I think a lot of sellers that we work with loves the stickering feature that's already in Restock Pro. Okay. Sure, you already have a lot of questions, and thank you, Jerome and Colleen, for helping our sellers answer the questions. Let's jump into our kits page. All right. So your kits page in Restock Pro allows you to track bundles as individuals or tracks bundles and kits as individuals while simultaneously keeping tabs of your individual stock levels. So you never have to worry about overselling or running out of stock. You can create and manage or break bundles using the kitting optimizer. So if you click the button here that says Run Optimizer, this window will pop up and you can actually optimize it by estimated margins or profit potential. All right. So all this data that you're seeing here, your restock suggestions, your dashboard as well, all this data can help you optimize your inventory management to avoid stockouts or paying excess storage fees that may affect your IPI score. All right. Let's go ahead and switch to our slides to discuss more about IPI today. All right. So your IPI is a single number calculated based on four areas of inventory. Let's discuss a few from it, all right? One of which is your FBA sell-through rate. Your sell-through rate can increase or decrease your IPI score. Your sales should maintain a good balance with your inventory volumes. And your inventory and your inventory sell-through rate is updated daily on the inventory performance dashboard of your seller central. So you might want to keep a watch on that as well. Another one is your excess inventory or your excess inventory percentage. This number can help you decide whether to lower your prices or remove your products. Now, reducing the number of excess units in your inventory can increase your IPI score. On the other hand, continuing to keep excess units in stock could decrease your IPI score. You can help prevent excess inventory and keep your sell-through rate steady with RestockPro. It helps your IPI score be above the minimum threshold by focusing on key tasks to stay in stock. You can also experiment creating bundles or kits as a way to handle excess inventory. We will also share a link of our IPI checklist in our Zoom chat today. So download that checklist. It has more tips on how to maintain your IPI score. I recommend you check it as well. Now, as you know, effective inventory management is essential to your success as an Amazon seller. After all, if you run out of your best selling items, you're going to lose sales as well as sales rank traction that you work so hard to build. And don't forget, overstocking can lead you to opportunity costs like storage fees and removal fees. You don't want that to happen. Your goal should be to keep a good amount of inventory in stock at FBA and sell it quickly or steadily to avoid long-term storage fees, which are assessed monthly. With that, I'd like to share some fundamentals on inventory management that you can keep handy year-round, right? So here are 5 principles that you may need to keep in mind while managing your inventory at Amazon. Number one would be data is king, right? Nowadays, it's not just about getting your data or having your data in front of you, but most importantly, validating it. RestockPro provides one source of accurate and detailed data for your team to use versus spreadsheets and formulas. Another one would be identifying trends. It's also very important because it keeps you stay ahead of your game. Find out the products that are top selling or are selling well in your catalog. Restock Pro can help you check out your SKU profitability, get you inventory turn report. Those are reports that you can download via CSV and comes along for free. And if you have items that are competitive or you have competitive listing, you can find out how many FBA or non-FBA sellers who are selling that product and what's their cost. All right. And also you need to know what to restock and when. Sometimes just not knowing, it's just about when to restock, but what to restock as well. And you can see that in your restock suggestions page, all in one page. Restock Pro can become your in-house supply chain counsel, letting you know how many need to be reordered from your supplier or how many units you need to ship to Amazon. Now, it makes it easy with your saved filters and color-coded flags. It will alert you when it's about time to restock. So you can also receive weekly or nightly report. You can set it up so in that way, you would be able to review your restock suggestions before your next day inventory workflow. Of course, automate your inventory process, right? A lot of sellers that approach us use the spreadsheet a lot. And so if you use Restock Pro to automate your inventory process, it saves you time, money, and resources. It reduces the risk of errors and headaches from your spreadsheets and formula. So use Restock Pro. And last but not the least, exercise good judgment. All right. You probably heard of the Squid Game costumes, right? I'm sure some of you probably bought it already, right? So they're selling like hotcakes these days, and it's the number one most searched term on Amazon for Halloween costumes. Now they're selling like crazy because it's Halloween. Halloween is just approaching in a few days, but even though the sales velocity is high, you wouldn't want to reorder those Halloween costumes on November 1st because people won't be looking for those after Halloween. Makes sense, right? All right. So like they say, all good things must come to an end. But hang on, we're not there yet. So to recap, Restock Pro facilitates your FBA inventory management process from forecasting to reordering to labeling, stickering, and shipments. Whether you ship to your warehouse or to your prep center or direct to Amazon FBA, you can use Restock Pro to find out what to restock and when. You create your purchase orders, create and manage FBA shipments, customize and print stickers, download your labels, and keep a close eye on your inventory at all stages. Plus, our adept customer success team, Jerome and the rest of the team, offers free onboarding and account review support to help you optimize the use of Restock Pro even during your free trial period. Right. So go ahead, get started with Restock Pro. Use your coupon code on the screen. It's Q4-2021. It gives you a 2 months free trial in Restock Pro, and there's no credit card required. So now off to more exciting things, and let's jump into your questions. I think there's a lot of great questions on chat. I think some of you would also be interested to know how much Restock Pro costs. So we're going to be sharing the link to our pricing page for Restock Pro, but we price our software based on the number of FBA orders that you have on a monthly basis. And there are no contracts to sign. It could be a month to month. We also have an annual pricing for Restock Pro. And again, feel free to use your coupon code to get a 60 days free trial with our tool. Jerome, do you have any other questions that you got there for us that we can answer?
Yeah, sure. So we do have a few questions that have come in. So I think Ricardo sent in a question to us, and he's asking if can I have different settings for different products? And he wanted to clarify that a product is shipped directly to Amazon and another to my warehouse, for instance. So yes, that's where the restock model comes in. So there's a restock model called direct ship, which means that you can send your items. Your supplier sends your items directly to Amazon, and you can change those settings. You can override those settings in the supplier's page. So you can set the restock model based on the supplier, and that's a great way to take a look at all the ways that your suppliers can actually that you actually work with your suppliers. So you can use those settings. Another one is, let's see here. So I think CB Unsdorfer is asking, how does this catch a huge spike in sales, particularly on used SKUs? So Restock Pro actually imports your sales into the system, which will then compute for your sales velocity. And it also depends on the settings that you choose. And normally for new SKUs, sellers select either a 7-day or the average sales velocity to take into account the sales made for new SKUs. So that's how it can actually capture spikes in sales.
Yeah, great question. Yep.
Yep. All right. So
Anyway,
can,
I also have a question here. It says, can we still edit POs once it's been closed? So yes, you can. You can do that in Restock Pro as long as it hasn't been fully received. You'll see that in your POs and shipments page as mark closed as partial or mark closed and slash partial. Then you can still reopen that one. Do you have other questions there, Jerome, that you would like to share?
all right. So I do see Saul Katzberg enter a question. He mentioned that, well, you mentioned that software accounts for days out of stock. Does it also account for a different variation of the item picking up because one variation was out of stock? So the way that Restock Pro works is it actually tracks per SKU. So if, for example, that specific SKU is out of stock, then Restock Pro will actually capture that out of stock, that item which is out of stock. And if you have a different SKU which is not out of stock, it'll also count that as, it'll also see that in the restock suggestions as well.
All right. It's a great question, Saul. Any
And
other questions that we got there?
Yes. So, all right.
I
So I
see.
do. Yeah,
Yeah, go
go
ahead,
ahead.
Jerome. Go ahead, Jerome. Mhm.
Yeah. So, Dave sent in a question: can Restock Pro forecast sales and all for other channels as well? And Colleen actually answered this. So it does support 10 marketplaces, which is Australia, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Mexico, Netherlands, Spain, UK, and the US. If you're talking about, uh, well, we Restock Pro actually works for all FBA only. If you're talking about like for example Walmart or Shopify, it doesn't currently work with those channels right now.
That is true. That's correct. We import sales from other channels so long as it's FBA, but yeah, we don't have any open API to integrate with other sales platform at this time. I also have one question here. It says, can we combine multiple POs in a shipment? So it's like multiple, correct me if I'm wrong, German, it's like multiple units in one shipment or multiple supplier in one shipment, right?
Yes, you can actually. If you use the local restock model, you will be able to combine multiple shipments. There's actually two ways to do that. You can use the restock suggestions page or the local inventory, whichever works best for you.
Right? Great. All right. So we still have time. I think we have a question on our Q&A section. It says, is there an agency pricing model if we manage 30 plus seller central accounts? Well, you have a huge client list there with you. We'd love to work with you and send you our pricing model for that. So definitely reach out to us and we'll work on with you. We do have agencies that use Restock Pro for multiple clients. So definitely we can work on the pricing model that you need for your clients. All right. Does Restock Pro account for MFN sales when FBA is out of stock, Jerome?
The answer is no. It doesn't account for MFN sales. It only accounts for FBA sales.
All right. So far that's the question that I have. Any other questions that we have on the chat? Most of our questions came in our chat. Do you see any other questions that we haven't answered, Jerome?
Um, let's see. I think that is about it.
All right. All right then. Well, thank you everyone. These were really great questions, and I really appreciate those who stayed until the end of our session today. So don't forget, make every day a 5-star day. Happy Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining us, and looking forward to having you aboard Restock Pro. Use your coupon code. Email us if you have any questions. Thank you again. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.